We don't do Jenny Craig anymore.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, we stopped because it got expensive, and then you balloon up. You know.
Yeah.
I do most of the cooking.
Do you?
Yeah. I do most of
Claudia does. She does really. I mean, if I can, I like to.
But I think that's a legacy of Mom. She insisted that I learn to cook. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I could cook. I really do.
I don't know how that came about, but she says no sons of mine are not able to cook, so she told me to cook.
Yeah.
And I remember in the 6th grade there was home ed or something, and I already knew how to cook, and the teachers were amazed. Oh, you're very good.
There was what?
The teachers were amazed that a boy my age, 12-year-old kid, could already cook. I mean, I couldn't cook elaborate stuff. I could boil an egg or.
Yeah. Well, today I called it has nothing to do with cooking, but the similarities, the lack of ability. That's what I'm getting at. I call the firm's expert representative that makes this gadget I have in my back.
Right.
I couldn't turn the goddamn thing off. It's driving me crazy.
Do you need to? I thought I just did it automatically. I didn't realize.
It may. I don't know. I'm so incompetent. I don't know. So I get the guy on the phone. I tell him, I can't turn it off. He says, all right, I'll walk you through it. All right. So we zip up the case.
Yeah.
You find this? Yep. Find that? Yep. Get that? Yep. Oh, yep. Now you take the scratchless and you put it on. Wait. What's a scratchless? He said, well, that's the thing. Oh, God, it got worse. I said, if we keep this up, I'm going to blow myself to bits. I mean, it's so easy and common to him that he was using expressions in his phrase.
Yeah.
And I get to a point where if I don't know what they're talking about, I get nervous.
Right.
Same with cooking. You know, I'm ashamed. I'm afraid to turn the stuff on that might blow the house up. I don't know. It's crazy, but that's why.
Now, Dad, when you eat out, what type of foods do you is it Italian, continental cuisine that you eat?
Anything.
Really?
Used to, not anymore.
How about sushi?
I don't eat. No sushi. Never.
What about Indian food?
No, sir.
Thai food?
No, sir.
Mexican food?
They probably don't have it down there. You know, Thai food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Thai food. Yeah.
We were in Mexico, in Mexico City. Food we went into was continental. And the reason for it was that Mexico is still going through or living the upper class.
Right.
The import of the Napoleon II coming in 1863 and being the monarch of Mexico for about 12 years.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Oh yeah, Mexico was invaded by the French.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
They still have parts of this Napoleonic code.
During the Civil War, our Civil War, the French came into Mexico.
Right.
Oh,
so we were busy fighting ourselves.
Right.
And
that was his brother, right? Napoleon's
his
brother.
younger brother, I think.
Right. And he was Napoleon the second or third or something like that.
What does that got to do with continental breakfast?
Well, that's the way they cook, continental style.
Oh.
They call it continental.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And probably it's still there, I think. I heard it's still there.
Well, in the better restaurant.
Right.
Yes. So the food was excellent. And what amused me was the waiters in the restaurant we went into were dressed in the costume of the French Navy sailors of the 1880s or something.
Right.
And they're Mexicans.
They're Mexican Indians.
Yeah.
With these big hawk noses.
Right.
They got the.
Well, I mean, their army was all that, and then the officers were French, I think, or something like that.
But I'm saying to see these guys, and they have the blue, what do you call like a bib behind the back,
right.
You know, like the sailors have that.
Oh
that
yes.
Flap up,
okay.
Have that on them.
I don't know who it was, either Zapata or Tito. What was it? One of them was the freedom fighter against them. I forget who it was.
The hero, French.
I'm not
Mexico,
sure.
Yeah.
I really don't even.
I know it was the Spanish colony, and then the French took it over. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the limited knowledge I have.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, if you don't mind me. Your dad died how? Did your dad Did Grandpa die of Hodgkin's disease?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hodgkin's.
Not
what you have.
Well, mine was non-Hodgkin's.
Yours is non-Hodgkin's.
Yeah, lymphoma.
Right.
But was that a form of lymphoma?
No, he didn't have that. See, my father, because of his age at the time, Hodgkin's disease is considered a young man's disease. And he seemed to have condition, he had, I can't even think of the word. symptoms. He had symptoms comparable to uremia, which is a
Oh.
kidney disease.
Kidney failure. Yeah.
So he's being treated for uremia,
Yeah.
Oh.
when in fact he had Hodgkin's disease.
Oh. So he could his
So-
blood
so-
his blood
Whatever it
was
And
getting
this
toxic.
This is going back
Yeah.
60 years ago.
So, yeah.
Well, that's 60, but 1955, it's 45 and 11, 56 years ago. See? I mean, they just didn't have the talent. They didn't know these things.
The technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Had they recognized it, one of the most viable or curable cancers is Hodgkin's disease.
Yes.
If you catch it in time.
It's got a high.
like 98%
Yeah.
recuperation.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I think it's
So-
93, but yeah, but it's up there.
Of course, they were being treated for the wrong condition.
Right.
That's what he meant. I mean, it's not malpractice because he did have the symptoms of uremia, which is a kidney problem thing. And
Right.
they were treating him for that. The thing I noticed about my father, Joe, I used to see him go to visit him in the hospital, and someone explained to me it's a condition that's universally seen in hospitals. People don't even realize it. You know the time of day by sitting with the patient. Gradually slurp into a very disturbed, almost senile situation. Made no sense around 6 o'clock at night.
Really?
Absolutely no sense at all. And yet he was alert and awake during the day.
Right.
It was they call it the sundown syndrome, I think.
Yeah.
That's not. Yes, that happens all over, right? Even to this day, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
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 But I mean, I didn't. What's wrong with my father? What's
Right,
going on?
right.
Never having heard of this before. See. He used to sign. I'd bring papers from the sign. If I got there in time, same signature, clear, wonderful
Right.
handwriting. If I forgot about it, I gave it to say 5:30. See the scribble?
Yeah.
It's the same person.
Right.
He'd
Really?
so slur his words.
Really.
To change the subject, Dad, just remember, I don't know if I asked you that. Do you remember taking trolleys as a young man in
sure.
Brooklyn?
Sure.
Trolleys were like bus routes.
Well, they were in the ground. They had
Yeah,
rails.
right. Yeah.
How much did they cost?
nickel.
Sorry. A nickel. Yeah.
A nickel.
Same as the subway.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
And 2 cents for transfer if you're going to a different line.
Is that, was that considered the MTA? Was it called the MTA?
They were
No.
private.
No, the city. BMT,
Oh,
Brooklyn Manhattan
okay.
Transit,
Oh.
Yeah, they're
IRT,
all under, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
IND.
Independent. That's
Yeah.
when LaGuardia came in.
Oh,
became IND.
Oh. What's
He
with
insisted for
BMT?
years at LaGuardia while he was mayor, insisted on calling 6th Avenue the Avenue of the Americas.
Right.
So that to the old timers,
You're right. No,
about 6th
Ameri-
Avenue.
even today, New Yorkers say no. It's Sixth
6th
Avenue.
Avenue.
But he wanted because he wanted to get the
Whatever.
what was it? The League of Pan American States here.
Yes.
Well,
At the
why?
time they were-
Why?
Because right now they're part of the UN, but back in 1945 when the UN was being built, or it was here, they were a separate entity. The countries like North America, but also South America, Latin America, they were a separate entity. The UN was mostly at the time the European, the old
Oh.
after World War One, the League of Nations,
League of Nations.
which was mostly European countries.
Right.
And this was a contemporary of the League of Nations, but only about South America. So that's why not only is it was called Avenue of the Americas, but at one time you had the state seals of the flags of all the
Oh,
different.
I remember seeing them up.
Yeah, you still have them. You still see
Yeah.
Cuba. You still see
All these South American.
all the South America, all the
Central
Latin
American
America,
flags.
Belize, Barbados,
Right.
and then you have Brazil and Argentina,
Yeah.
even America, United States of America, Canada, Mexico.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't see African or European countries or Australian or Oceanic countries.
Right. I'm just reminded of something that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, except I mentioned LaGuardia.
Yes.
Right.